suppose you want to build a house. So what do you do first? First you lay a foundation. And if you try to build a house without foundation, sooner or later it will be cracked and it will just fall apart. So what is the foundation of the knowledge? The most important thing in life to know is to know who we are actually. Because now we are under the influence of bodily identification. So we think that we are these bodies. But as life goes on and time changes our bodies, bodies turn into old bodies, but still inside we remain young. We still want something ideal, we still want to live forever like that. Why is it? Because as spiritual traditions state, we are actually eternal living entities. And that's why the spiritual program should be also given to us. We have this material programs of progress. You have to become somebody in society. You have to be strong physically. So society helps person to develop his physical body, his subtle body. We can say mental body, intelligence, like that. That's nice. But the most important thing, the soul, the consciousness inside, it doesn't get any attention. It's like to clean the cage and to forget to feed the bird inside. Mm-hmm. So the body is like a cage and soul is like a bird inside. Mm-hmm. So you have to take care of the bird as well. Otherwise, we can see that people become materially successful. They have some money, they have some status in society, they have some respect. They have so many things externally, but they may still remain unhappy or unsatisfied inside. Why is that? Because they forget to feed the bird, so they don't get this food for the soul. So what is this food for the soul? So actually the spiritual knowledge must be given in the very beginning of life. Otherwise we are just trying to build a house without foundation. And sooner or later the house will collapse. And that we see actually in life. People experience the existential crisis, after 40, 50 years, they are looking for some other purpose, but they don't know what it is, and they start to drink, or they become get into depression like that. It's a diseases of modern society because it is devoid of real spiritual foundation. Well, they get some we can say religious faith. Faith is good, but it's not enough. It should be enriched by spiritual knowledge. And while kids are still young, they have to be given this spiritual knowledge. Otherwise, they will face many difficulties in life, and they will not be able to solve them. They will just go to some psychologist or some doctors. Please help me, and they will give them some pills, to pacify them to some degree. But the real root cause will remain still there. And spiritual knowledge is, we can say, like a real, digestion, which helps us to digest many problems in our lives, because most of them get into our life just because of ignorance, spiritual ignorance, that I would say. So the spiritual education is in great need in society.
Just would it be possible to specify what kind of knowledge is it? More concretely,
okay,
if it's possible.
All right, yeah. So we got physical body, and there are some sciences that study bodies, anatomy, physiology, biology. They study physical body. Also, we got some subtle life, we can say, mental level, intellectual level, like that, emotional level. What kind of science deals with that? Psychology, right? But there is no science which deals with the consciousness of soul indirectly. Mm-hmm. So generally people think that it's just religion, it's just kind of faith. You go to church, you go to some temple, ask some priest, all those spiritual questions. But nobody actually knows that it's a science, it's a spiritual science. And in ancient India, there was a Vedic tradition. Vedas are the most ancient revealed scriptures in the world. And these scriptures, they contain a lot of the spiritual knowledge, not just faith. In the West, unfortunately, religion is reduced to religious faith, not more than that. But spiritual knowledge is lost. And Vedic tradition still keeps this knowledge, and we can take advantage of that tradition, because this knowledge shows us who we are, what is our original purpose. It tells us about our original home, where we came here from. And it tells us about the process, how we can get back, how we can elevate our consciousness. Well, it's a big topic, but I just give some synopsis, some few ideas. And if we start to really learn this science, then we'll have many discoveries, many revelations, very useful and very inspiring, very positive. So it's a whole new field of investigation for the people in general.
It's very interesting. I want to put into many more questions on that subject, but I guess, for example, I have children and I would like to know how to educate them, what kind of knowledge is how to give, but it's a huge field, I'm afraid.
See, when the kids go to school, what teachers do, teach them about the origin of life. They just give them Darwin's theory of evolution. That's it. So people think that we come from monkey. Okay, so we can behave like monkeys. But if you understand that we come, from some higher source, from God, then our behavior should be godly. It's completely different paradigm, different approach to life.
Great, thank you.